Bar Black Sheep is incredibly tough to learn those words.
So fucking rude. If you're a teacher listening, please just what an imbecile you are. Where were you crying?
Just crying.
Where? In the party?
Yeah. Yeah, when I was a doorman that night.
Oh, when I was a doorman that night, because I'm so hard. We have a party memory, and it's actually known in my friendship group as Fight Night.
Well, the first part of it, the girl that I liked was kissing my brother, who was 2.5 years younger, at the bottom of the garden. That was the first problem, and he must have been like 11, 12. So I went out for a year, and then we split up for like 4 years. But during those 4 years, I knew she worked at Essence, and I couldn't go there.
No.
I was still so like madly in love with her. I was like, I just cannot go there and see her. You know what I mean? So I just stayed away. Welcome to episode 41 of the Fun Dad, Dean and Wife Unfiltered podcast. I am Dean.
And I'm Sara. Right, Dean, I am very apprehensive, shall we say, about the new challenge you have decided to take on. I feel like, are we ready for this challenge?
Probably not. So, my daughter's just joined the football team that's beginning in September. She's been into football for a while now. I've been doing training with them, playing for the school and that. And they joined the football team in September. They needed a manager and they kept asking me, and I said yes when I was pissed. And then I quickly said no when I was sober. And then someone else took the manager role, didn't they?
Yeah.
And now they need an assistant manager because like a lot of work, a lot of decisions to make and all this sort of stuff. And I caved the other day. I was a bit hungover as well. It's always alcohol that's involved, isn't it? But I was a bit hungover and I was like, yeah, I'll do it, mate. You can't find anyone else. I will do it. And I think I'll love it, but I think it's going to be a lot of work in it.
See, I have absolutely zero experience of football teams and all that kind of stuff. But I've got an idea from my friends, like when they talk about their children and the dramas that could potentially arise from a kids' football team is insane. So the dramas that I've just heard about are crazy. Like, who would have thought that kids' football would cause such a drama?
Yeah, the parents are the worst.
Do you think?
I know.
So, moving into this new role then, what are you most apprehensive about?
The parents, definitely.
Why?
Like, our parents complained about the team that I've picked, their girl not playing enough minutes, loads of different stuff. My girl should be taking corners, penalties, all this. You get all this crap in the WhatsApp group.
Do you pick the team?
Yeah, well, me and the manager pick the team, yeah.
Right.
I'm not really sure what else we do, but we pick the team. But there's like 4 quarters in each game, so you got to like mix it up so every girl plays theoretically the same sort of time.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm a very competitive
here we
person, and you know that. I am so competitive.
Oh, I'm so nervous.
So the problem is, if we're like 2-0 down, and I know that I've got to bring my best player off on the 4th quarter and bring someone who's a bit shit on. Hopefully, won't be scouting shit, but we might have the odd bit of deadwood in there, and then we got to bring them on. I know we ain't got a chance because we're already 2-0 down. We're bringing our best player off for someone bad.
But imagine that child, unless you give them the opportunity to participate in the games, they are never going to be able to better their game.
Exactly. So that's why everyone plays 3 quarters theoretically. But how the game plays out, you might be like at the end, might be like, I need to bring my best players on here to save the game because we want to win, right? Everyone wants to win, no?
Yep. Oh God, yeah. I get it, but I just feel like obviously maybe it's inherent in me. But as a teacher, I'm just like, you have to give the children the opportunity to thrive. You never know. Don't cap them. They need that practice.
The thing I would say is it's first season, so it's going to be all about enjoyment. But they are 10. They're going to be 10 and 11. And at that sort of age, unfortunately, you start picking your best players. Like as kids, when they're like 6, 7, 8, 9, it's about giving everyone opportunity to play, develop. When they get to like 10, 11, 12, it then becomes, we want to win now. You know what I mean? Well,
I know.
But I'm nervous about that, and I'm nervous about me in a way because I'm competitive.
I am so glad you said that because I am nervous about you. I feel like I'm going to have to start being one of those football mums and buying myself a football coat and going to football in the rain, not to watch Daisy, but to keep an eye on you and your temperament. I'm not actually worried about this.
I would never, ever shout at the kids.
No, I know
I'm not
that.
worried about that. I'm more worried about shouting at the ref or having a
Oh,
Barney
God.
with the other manager because something's happened. But I would never, especially girls. I mean,
No, you will not shout at the children,
Would
but
never
you would
shout
have
at
an
the
argument with a parent.
I think boys' football's very different. Boys' football is more aggressive. Like with
that's why I hate it.
From what I've heard, boys' football is more temperamental. The boys are more temperamental playing. Girls are more sort of, they want to win, they're competitive, but they're not as like, don't punch each other. You know what I mean?
So,
it's more.
One of my friends was telling me about the silent games. So have you heard about those? So sometimes they go to a football match and obviously to watch the children, and it's called a silent game. And in that, what it means is that the parents and spectators are unable to encourage, shout at the team.
That's exactly how it should be at every single game.
But it was interesting that you say that because the children sometimes need that little bit of encouragement of like, oh, well done, doesn't matter, good corner. I mean, I'm trying to act like I know about football here, but I'm like, is it called a free kick? I don't even know. But and they saw a dip in the children's performance because some children require that extrinsic motivation.
Yeah, and they should
keep going.
But they should get it from the management and the coach. Not just random parents going, "Come on, Shane," and all this stuff. Like, they should. I've been reading a book, haven't I, on that coaching that I got given from a friend of ours at the Caravan. And their boy plays really good level football. He's like 10. He plays for Cardiff, and the parents aren't allowed to speak at games. They're not allowed.
They're silent games.
Not allowed to speak at the training. It's all about the coaching.
Interesting. I wonder if you've been to a silent football game or if you're a parent that encourages their child at the sidelines. What's your experience? What's best? Because then Dean can use that as he moves into his football manager role for advice.
Like when I'm watching Daisy, I don't even do any body language. I just watch the game because I know she's looking for it. I don't want to give any negative or any overly positive either. I just watch it. And then after the game, I don't even speak about it or the training unless she brings it up with me.
Okay.
If we're walking back, she goes, speaks about it. I won't go, should have done that, or should have done this, or should have done that. That's not how you supposed to speak to kids. It's all about enjoyment, and the freer they are on the pitch, the better they're going to play. The more they're enjoying it and the freer they are, the better you perform.
Yeah, but surely she needs some feedback in terms of like, maybe try this next time, or because you won't get better without feedback.
From the coaches.
Okay.
From the coaching side, not some parent who doesn't or thinks he knows coaching. I don't have I'm not coaching them.
No.
We've got a coach on a Monday night, a professional coach. I literally just pick the team. Pick the team.
Well, that's clarified a few of my misconceptions, definitely. But can you just keep your cool? I feel like we're going to be back on this podcast at some point later on in the year discussing something that you've done from this manager's role, and I'm nervous about it.
Yeah.
Let's flip that actually. Let's manifest. No, it's going to all be positive. Everything's going to be great. There's going to be no drama. Manifest that, please.
I'll do my best. Yeah, let's give it a go. I mean,
Right.
I'm more worried about like the time it's going to take as well, because obviously I get burnt out pretty quick. So
Tell me about it. Anyway,
yeah.
On a side note, obviously we had Mr. P in the podcast a few episodes back, and I love to talk about teaching. It is clearly a passion of mine. I think that we have these little discussions, don't we, of Dean being like, oh, just quit work, I need you at home. But actually, I enjoy it, don't I? But I heard something the other day, because obviously having Mr. P on the podcast has generated a lot more conversations with people about school and teachers and things like that. And I heard something, and I have a lot of solidarity towards teachers. I respect teachers. I think they've got an incredibly hard job. And in recent years, I do think it's got even harder. So I'm not bashing teachers. But
Singing nursery rhymes is incredibly tough, people. It is.
I do a lot more than sing nursery rhymes, you twat.
Bar Black Sheep is incredibly tough to learn those words.
It's so fucking rude. If you're a teacher listening, please just what an imbecile you are. Anyway.
Cutting card and putting on the...
Oh my God. So
I'm on one, I'm only joking.
Come into my classroom
I
and
am,
you
know I'm
wouldn't
joking.
last 15 minutes in my classroom.
15 seconds?
Right.
I would walk in and walk straight back out. Like, fuck this.
Anyway, I heard a little story this week and it's kind of stuck with me. Okay, so a teacher, a year 5 pupil, this isn't at my school, by the way, this is just something that I've heard through friends. So a year 5 pupil has gone into school and obviously we know the school rules, yeah, you're not supposed to wear makeup, okay? This year 5 pupil has put makeup on before school, okay? She's done a nice little kind of face of makeup, shall we say, but it was noticeable. So she's never done it before. She's gone into school. She's probably feeling a bit, oh, I've got makeup on today. Like, she's done that for a reason, hasn't she? Maybe it's attention. Maybe it's to feel good. Maybe it's to impress the girls. I don't know. But she's done that, yeah? So she's gone into school and apparently she's walked in the classroom and in front of the whole class, the teacher's gone, "What's that on your face? You look like a clown. We're not in the circus. Take it off." Okay? Right. So obviously then...
Sounds like the teacher's got some banter.
Class are laughing at her. Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
No, it isn't good.
Class are laughing at her. She's then got really upset, really self-conscious, obviously gone to the bathroom, tried to wash it off and stuff like that. And then it's like a running joke that she belongs in the circus. And when she does her makeup, she looks like a clown. Now that was said by the teacher to the child.
In front of the whole class?
In front of the whole class. Let's just flip that, yeah? If I went into work and maybe I had... I don't know, inappropriate makeup on or inappropriate dress, I would like to think that my line manager or my, anybody above me wouldn't belittle me in front of my whole staff and also kind of attack me and go, "Oh, you look like I don't know, say if I wore a really short skirt to work," and they were like, "Oh, it's a bit inappropriate, Sara." I'd like to think they'd pull me to the side and be like, "Oh, actually, Sara, a really short skirt in an environment like this isn't actually appropriate. Can you please make sure that you wear something more appropriate in the future?" Not, "Oh, you look like a prostitute. We're not working on the streets. Wear a longer skirt."
Who would get you to wear a longer skirt? I certainly wouldn't.
Oh, it's so weird. But no, you're missing the point, Dean.
I'm only joking.
What I mean is that teacher in that instance really has belittled the child and, in my opinion, not dealt with that well. What do you think?
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
I mean...
I think she could get bullied from that because the kids could then keep calling her a clown or something else could happen from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like for me, I like to think of myself as like a reflective person. I don't want to just attack whoever this teacher was.
Depends how they said it as well. I think the tone is really important. If you like sort of shouted it really angrily, you said it kind of sort of a jokey way, I think it's less.
It wasn't. It was like, "You look like a clown. We're not in the circus. Take that off." That kind of vibe. But I like to think to myself, if that was a pupil in my school, obviously at the moment I teach reception, but I have taught the older year groups. If a child in my school came up to me, they'd come into school and they'd done their makeup, I might just pull them to the side and be like, "Look, you look really nice today. I can see you've worked hard on your makeup, but actually we've really got to enforce the school rules here. And, one of our school rules is that we just don't wear that level of makeup to school. So I'm going to have to ask you to please just pop and wash it off. You look really nice. Save it for the weekend. Wear it on a Friday night, but I'm sorry you can't wear it into school."
Or if you'd asked the kid like 4 or 5 times then they went against it.
Yeah.
So this kid may have like done it multiple times before and the teachers just thought, this is fucking enough's enough and I'm going to make an example of you.
Well,
that could have happened.
I was that kid at school, but secondary, albeit it was secondary. I used to go in. Mrs. Holmes was my form tutor, and I used to go into school. And oh my God, when I think back to the makeup I used to wear, it was like this thick Barry M kind of shiny paste that I used to lather onto my eyelids. It was disgusting. Then I used to put so much mascara on that I used to have to get a pin and separate my lashes because I'd put so much mascara on. And I was going to school and it was like a running joke between me and my form tutor. She would just look at me and like smile and laugh and put this pack of baby wipes on her desk as in like, "Come here."
That's a stage a lot of girls go through.
But I was in
like you see teenagers now, you're like, what the fuck have you done?
But I think I was in like year 8 or year 9 then.
Yeah.
But it was like banned. But she never made me, I couldn't imagine in that context her ever going to me like, you look like a clown, take that off, or insulting. You know, it's an insult, really, isn't it? And what gives the teachers the rights to insult the children like that? Is it on a power trip? Like, they're still, I don't know.
Can't take everything at face value. Like, that teacher might have been, not saying this is right or wrong, but just having a bad day. The class might have been going wild that day. A lot of problems might have been happening that day. Like, it could be a build-up of certain things. It might not. She might have known that she's handled it badly. I don't know. If that's the normal way she handles things, then probably a bit shit. But if it's like a...
I don't know why it stuck with me so much. I don't know why.
Because you wouldn't...
People are probably listening being like, it's not a big deal, Sara, shut up. But I wouldn't treat a child like that.
Depends if she's doing it all the time.
She wasn't. It was a one-off.
Yeah, well then...
She's probably never going to do it again now, bless her, is she? You know. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think? Am I overreacting? Do I need to get over it? Or does that teacher need to check herself? Don't know. Anyway.
Check herself.
I don't know.
Before she wrecks herself.
I had a strange request this week from our 10-year-old. I don't know, was it a strange request? So she's thinking about year 6 already. I think maybe because current year 6 might be sharing like what they're doing for their end of term, you know, end of primary school, celebrations. But she's asked when she finishes year 6 if she can have a house party at our house.
No.
I'm not ready for her to have a house
party. I don't even
party.
like one kid round, let alone fucking whatever, 20 or 30, whatever there is. Like one kid, 2 kids, give me a headache round our house. No, not parents like loads of kids round, not
I
like
love
it, but they'll be like,
round.
just come round.
Yeah, that's me.
We'll have like 5 or 6. I'm like, you just ruined my afternoon. Like,
Dean.
No, but I struggle with R2. And I don't mind.
I actually find them easier when we have certain friends round.
Yeah.
It's easier because they're just off with their friends playing.
Yeah, it does make certain aspects of it easier. They do just play out in the garden and that. It is. I'm being overly harsh, but I mean...
think for you as well, it's more the fact that I tend to do the play dates some days when you're working from home. And you're like, Sara, I'm working from home. I can't have this right now.
And I think our house is quite small.
Oh, it's so small. I think if we had a bigger house and you had an office, it'd be fine.
That'd be sweet.
At the end of the day, we've got one room downstairs. So it's like a small kitchen, diner, lounge, like L shape. We've got one room downstairs. So if I want to give them dinner, I can't exactly go upstairs and give them dinner in the bathroom, can I? So you're there.
Yeah, if you want to make money, don't start a podcast. You'll have a small house and loads of debt.
Leave a review, please. I have children to feed.
Yeah, no, she's not having an end of year party. I've seen what happens to them.
I know, and I was thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure. Are they still as wild as they used to be when we were younger, house parties? And are the teenagers still having them? Because we've had some wild house parties, have we not? In our time? Before I knew you?
I had one at my house, my mum and dad's house. Obviously, I didn't have a house when I was 14. I wasn't doing that well. But I think it was about 14, 15.
Yeah. What happened?
For the first part of it, the girl that I liked was kissing my brother, who was 2.5 years younger, at the bottom of the garden. That was the first problem. And he must have been like 11, 12. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I remember this as clear as day. So that kind of put my night back a bit and hurt my feelings. But then... I was a little bit of a sort of an in-betweener at school. Not like a massive geek, but definitely not one of the rude boys. I was a bit sort of in between. Probably more towards the geek, maybe. Maybe, depends. So all these rude boys, you used to call them rude boys, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they tried to turn...
I was a rude girl.
Yeah, and they tried to turn up. And so I put like a lawnmower by the side gate, thinking that would stop them from getting through the side gate. And then they were climbing over, and my reaction was to start crying. You know when you're like a kid and people that are like the tough ones come in, you're like, this is just going to end in a nightmare. Yeah. And then it did, because all my mum and dad's lights got pulled down the living room. No, those like fan lights that used to be quite popular. I don't know if they're popular now, but my mum and dad had one. Yeah. They're like fans.
Yeah, I know.
At the top. And they were just hanging off them. Ripped it all out the ceiling. My mum and dad were like out at a meal, and but I phoned them. Did I phone them?
Did you phone them on the house phone
Or did
as
they
well?
come
Did you have a
back?
phone?
No, I think I had a phone. No, I had a phone. I
Okay.
had one of those like Nokia, like
3210s, something like that.
yeah. They came back and sorted it all out, but from then on, it's just no parties, and it was just obviously the house was. But yeah, my girlfriend that I wanted, well, not girlfriend, I sort of was seeing her, I suppose, got hold of my brother. All these rude boys tried to terrorise the house, and I ended up crying.
Where were you crying?
Just crying.
Where? In the party?
Yeah. Do you know when like all the rude boys get like a whiff of like there's a party on? They bullied me at school.
Aww.
I was thinking, why the fuck would they want to come to my party? Leave me alone. Just leave me. Just leave. Because we had like a few.
Leave me be.
Because we had like when those parties we have like 20 boys and like 6 girls because you're like geeky, so like can't get many girls. We had like 6 or something, maybe 6 to 8, and then just one of them.
Aww.
And they wanted to come around and chirps all them up. Remember that word, chirps?
Oh Jesus. So we have a party memory, and it's actually known in my friendship group as Fight Night. And do you know what? It was actually I actually think back and I'm like, that was a really scary, it was actually mental. And my mum and dad listen to this podcast, and I actually am going to apologise in advance because I've never told you this story. So sorry, mum and dad, but it's going to be shared now for the greater good of parents being aware that these parties get out of control. So don't worry, it wasn't at our house, although I'll tell you that one later. So we had a party at a friend's house. It was a free house kind of vibes. And I don't know if necessarily if we advertised it as a party, but it was like there was a free house and maybe it was a party, yeah. So we had different groups of boys, right? So there was a group of boys from your school, your area, who were not invited. And then there was a group of boys from another area that were invited. So anyway, they weren't. So it was invited and uninvited, a bit like you. Anyway, so in this house, and everything was fine. We're all having a good time. And then the other boys turn up, and we were all like, "Oh shit!"
What, the Beverly boys?
Yeah.
Ones from my school.
Yeah, we were like, "This isn't going to go well." We were like, "Oh my gosh, what's going to happen?" And we didn't know all of them. We knew most of them. But you could just see like the anxiety in the house now was like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? And I think one of the boys was somebody's ex-boyfriend or something. So he went up and hid under the bed because they were like, where is he? We're going to get him. And we were just like, oh my God, we hate fighting. Like we were just girls like, oh my God. And then literally someone said a comment and then it was like all hell broke loose. There was just fighting everywhere. And then like Charlotte looked around and they'd like taken those knife things that you have in your kitchen, like the stands. There was some of those missing, and we were like, oh my God. And I remember this guy, I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to embarrass him, but there was a guy that I really used to like. He's a lovely guy, and he was not a fighter, and he just turned around and this guy just punched him and he just went down like a sack of potatoes, and I was just like, oh my God, this is really out of my comfort zone. So me and Charlotte were like, what do we do? So we literally went over, and the fuse box in the house, we thought, oh, we'll just like turn the lights off, that'll work. Didn't fucking work.
Yeah, that would definitely calm things down.
And then before you knew it as well,
let's put everyone in pitch black.
we were like, we don't know what to do. We literally didn't know what to do. And then some of them were trying to escape through the upstairs windows, and they had like a really old like conservatory vibe. Do you remember conservatories? Like, anyway, and the glass.
Do I remember conservatories? No.
I don't know. Everyone has extensions now, didn't they? Yeah. Anyway, and they jumped down through the window and they cracked the extent, and they were running over the garden fences. And then another boy got hit round the head with a bell. Honestly, when I think back to this, anyway, so what we ended up doing was ringing the police on our own party, and we were like, "You've got to come! Like this is out of control." And we had like police, ambulances, everything turn up because one of the boys got taken off in an ambulance because he got a belt wrapped around his head. Honest to God. Was the worst experience. Like it was so bad. And we joke about it now and we're kind of talking about it in jest, but I remember at the time just like it wasn't funny. And then there was one funny thing though. We did
Where were you in all this? Just
I was just trying to like break up the fights. You just turned the
lights off just to try and
we tried to turn the lights off. We were trying to just break it up.
There's a boy there you fancied. I thought, oh, I'll just grab him.
We were just like, I actually had a boyfriend, Dean, at the time. Anyway, and we just were trying to break it all up and stuff. It was so bad. And then I think the next day, granddad came round to kind of, we obviously said what had happened and stuff, and the granddad came around and we were like sorting the house out and stuff, and there was like a lava lamp that had smashed. It was just awful. And then we went upstairs and someone had a shit in the shower. Just like,
that's a dumb thing though, isn't it?
What?
That's a dumb
thing.
No, I don't mean a dumb thing, but if you want to terrorise someone's house, you go and shit in the shower, or you shit somewhere.
Sorry, I have never heard that before in my life.
Well, I've never done it. It's not something I do, but it's...
Well, you have experience of shitting in the shower? No, I found that very bizarre.
Or like you'd shit on their bed and just put the cover over and then get in and like... Well, I wouldn't do it, obviously. I've never done it.
Have you actually ever heard of anyone doing that? What are you talking about? My voice.
I've heard of shitting in the shower. Oh, maybe not in the bed. Maybe I've taken that too far, but that would be a good idea. Like, if you really hated someone, that'd be a great idea. Just put it over and he's like a little turd there and they just jump in. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine that.
I actually am speechless.
Imagine that if your kids had a house party. One of the kids shat in your bed and you got back all frisky after the night out, the parents started taking your clothes off and we jumped in there.
This is taking a very dark turn.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't think Daisy's having a party. I don't think we'll allow it.
I think it's definitely putting me off. Like, are kids that bad these days? Because there's two arguments, isn't there? Because some people say that they're not having house parties anymore. Because obviously they're
having house parties. I was a doorman at one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember my boss? I was a doorman for his daughter's birthday. I think she was her 18th. And I went round there. I was a doorman. I'm absolute biggest pussy in the world history. I don't know what I would be. I was like, please don't have a fight. Please, please, please. There was loads of kids there. And they were actually really, really good. I was a few, obviously. Everyone was getting, bit boozy, 18th and all that. But they were lovely. Like, a few of them were like, "Do you do this for a job, mate? Bit of a shit job, innit?" I'm like, no, I'm just helping out for 4 hours, but yeah. And they were like, doormans are idiots and all this. You think you're tough and all this. But people tried to get in without invites. It was invite only.
Okay.
So people at the door doing the invites. Loads of people telling the wrong names and then getting in. And then pick the right people would turn up like, no, I'm here. And it was just
Were you doing the list?
I wasn't doing the list.
You weren't
doing
the
I was
list.
I was just standing there looking hard like this.
You're not hard.
No, I'm such a...
I would have been a better doorman
I think a doorman's got to be the worst job for me. I was like, 18-year-old could easily knock me out. I look big, but just like...
Oh, you're a woman, aren't you?
But no, it's still happening. Now, they were obviously drinking that, but I think they were good kids. Come from like... Sound really bad, but they went to sort of a nice school, and it was a nice, good event. Didn't like kick off, but people are still doing it like we did. Definitely. It's
mad though, isn't it? Because it is that idea of, I don't know if children still do it, but that idea of like a free house. Like, I remember, Mum and Dad. We came back one night from Epsom, back to our house, like me and all the girls. Didn't want any boys back because, boys are smelly. We just, were chilling and we were like, no, you're not coming in, like da da da. And my mum has got like 3 levels to her house. She's got a loft extension at the top with those Velux windows. And the boys, I doubt they're listening, but you know who you are, climbed up onto like a flat roof on the first floor and then climbed up onto the roof and got in through the Velux windows in the loft because they wanted to come in the house.
Really?
I mean, they were our friends. It was like we did see the funny side, but it was a bit like, that is so dangerous. Imagine your child's gone out and they've climbed on a bloody 3-story roof. Like, the things that we did when we were younger... We should do that. We should have a podcast when we were young.
They're still going to do it now. Like, I know kids have kind of turned a bit, what's the word? More scared than us, probably. Are they?
Do you think?
I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
I haven't got a clue. Do you know what? If you have a teenager, there are so many things that I am dreading.
But we didn't have like YouTube or Instagram to like numb us. Like, we had to do like.
But also
explore.
to learn things. I feel like there are often things shown to children on their phones that we wouldn't have known about.
Well, you mean the dangers?
We wouldn't have had access to know about these things. Like, like these trends that they do online, and a lot of them end badly, and things like that. We didn't have that. Like
I think there is good of it though. They can learn about certain stuff.
Oh yeah,
I think
there's
there
always
is good stuff, but depends how you use. Like, dangers in the usage of it or the
But
dosage.
to be fair, do you know what? Saying that, I think sometimes children are just... Because I've, like, those parties we've all just explained, there was no adults present, was there? But I remember my 16th, my mum and dad were there at my 16th.
Upstairs?
Yeah. Well, no, she did come down, and my birthday's in November. And I remember as a child, my mum and dad were relatively, like, they'd buy me, like, Alka Pops. Remember, like, Smirnoff Ice? Or, do you remember Hooch? That was, like, the flat orange
4 or
one.
5 of them, I was on the floor.
Yeah, but what I think, as a parent, you kind of have to make that decision around alcohol is... I would rather supply it. I don't know. Maybe my parents went down the route of I'd rather supply it for you and know that you are just having a few Alka Pops, because I thought I was cool drinking my Alka Pops or maybe my little cider or whatever. But my friends whose parents were very against alcohol, well, they'd be going and getting a bottle of vodka and drinking straight vodka. Or, the worst thing that you could do when you were younger was get a water bottle. And then I remember this one girl, she stole a little bit from each bottle in her parents' like liquor cabinet and just made that dirty drink and was drinking that, and she was incredibly unwell. So
kids are smart. They will do it. They will find it. You know what I mean?
But I don't think that is smart.
No, I'm not saying.
What do you mean?
Like, if you tell them no, you can't have alcohol at the party, they will just go and drink it somewhere else. They will find it somewhere else. They will get it. You know what I mean? So if you put it under supervision, like you have it at your party, in your house, you can regulate it a bit.
Regulate it by like not spirits, just like, I don't know.
Yeah, you can have like certain rules around it.
But I remember a friend whose parents obviously didn't allow alcohol. She snuck in a bottle of vodka. She was so unwell. My mum had to like stay up with her all night to make sure she wasn't going to be sick on herself. And I remember my mum's carpet, she had like a cream carpet. Like, just no respect was shown at all. Like, the carpet was just
the vaping
disgusting.
thing worries
it looked like
me.
a swamp.
The vaping thing worries me as well. And I'm going a bit off topic, but all this fucking kids vaping, like... Daisy brings one of them back, I'm going to smash it to about a trillion people.
Sorry, I would like to share a story with you all right now. Mr. Vapor over here. Give a bit of alcohol in him. He loves a vape, right? And then at our caravan... because that tends to be where you do most of the drinking, on his bedside table, there was like a basket and it had about 12 vapes in it. And Ruby found it, right? And she was like, oh, can I throw these away? And I was like, absolutely. And every time one of the children find one of your discarded vapes, I let them throw it in the bin. Don't know. What a waste of money. But I feel like that's the example we need to set as parents. Throw it away.
Yeah, I mean, I was out Saturday when I drinking and then got this vape. I just hate myself for doing it. I've hated myself all week.
He's had a very depressing
week. So I had a heavy
You did not want to live with him this week.
Had a heavy Friday night till like 1:30 in the morning, then just carried on drinking on Saturday with another event. Sunday I was okay, but then Monday to Thursday I've just been like, nah. Because I have like 5-day hangovers, don't I? And it's not in the sense that I'm physically hungover, like I'm like, I can't get out of bed. I'm just mentally not there. I'm just like, everything's overwhelming. It's just a horrible experience. So, but anyway, vaping, I don't vape normally. But what I mean is, it's more like 12, 13, 14-year-old getting older vapes and thinking it's all right.
No, it's not, is it?
So if they come in our house for any sort of party, I'll be like, vapes at the door. You're not allowed vapes, none of that stuff.
I think you've got to be careful though, Dean, because...
Well, don't come in then.
Oh.
What do you mean I've got to be careful?
I don't know. You don't want to alienate all her friends.
12-year-olds smoking vapes in the house?
No, 12-year-old. I don't know. You've got to respect other people's parenting decision, though. For a lot of families, smoking or vaping might be the norm, and we have to accept that. As long as our daughter doesn't do it based on our values and what we want for her.
In what world is a 12-year-old smoking a vape the norm?
No, I'm not saying
I don't know in my world, and they're not coming around to my house either. I don't care if it's judgmental. That isn't a world that's normal.
Anyway, are you a parent of a teen? Do you throw house parties? And have you thrown a house party? And do they still get out of control? Because I think from what I've seen or heard, those like Facebook groups, the local community groups, people often say, house party got out of control, da 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 da. I think now due to social media, WhatsApp, all those kind of things, is the news of the party spreading quicker? And do people try and turn up?
That's a great point. Because it does.
Because apparently
Yeah.
some children, from what I've read, some children are in WhatsApp groups, and there can be like 100, 120 children in these WhatsApp groups, because they have like year group WhatsApp groups, even in secondary. And, you know, a mum told me the other day that their child woke up in the morning, there was 800 messages on her phone. I mean, who can actually physically read 800
Yeah, when I was a
WhatsApps?
doorman that night.
Oh, when I was a doorman that night, because I'm so hard.
Back in my doorman days, those kids turn up who weren't on the lists, and they just so sad they couldn't get in. I felt so sorry for them. I was a bit like, you can come in. Because I didn't, because I was under strict rules. But I was a bit like, you're not on the list, but you just look like you're fine. Like, you like...
Don't judge a book by its cover.
All right. Right.
They're not on the list. You're not. That takes me back to my days, because I used to work as a door girl back in. Do you remember Essence in Kingston? Did anyone go to Essence in Kingston? It was by the river. I was the door girl there for a while, and I had the list. I was a bit.
I
like
went
you,
out
though.
with you then. That was the first time we went out. You working there for a little bit, or maybe it was after.
It wasn't.
Maybe it was after. I never went to it. But no, we went out for a year. Me and Sara.
I never
before,
was with you
and then
when I worked at
me and Sara went out for a year. And then we split up for like 4 years. But during those 4 years, I knew she worked at Essence, and I couldn't go there.
No.
I was still so like madly in love with her. I was like, I just cannot go there and see her. You know what I mean? So I just stayed away. And then it was you after the 4 years that came
running back to you, didn't I?
But anyway, yeah.
Open arms. Anyway, we'll share that story another day when I'm ready. Thank you once again for listening to the podcast. Have a lovely week.
Yeah, thank you for listening.